almost like machinima, but like
Smaller. We
but we
could,
would be like the undergrounds running it and taking the videos and posting them.
yeah, like if people had good games, like if people had good games. Now, this is the one part where I get stuck. I don't really know how to use Dropbox, but if people could send us things by Dropbox, then we could if people could send us things by Dropbox, then we could easily like do it. But the one thing is, I'm not 100% certain on how to use Dropbox yet. So
I think once we do a little bit more of our homework on Dropbox and situation and see a little bit more and what the users say too, then it will be a little more easier. But if you ever needed help on the editing, I would definitely, if you said you didn't want to edit something, I would definitely do it. And if you liked it, it'd be awesome. And I hope they would like it too. I mean, that sounds like a brilliant idea though, dude. Like just hearing
yeah,
it now, it's like, wow, that's a really good idea.
yeah, like I mentioned, we could go like partnership, air quote partnership, if you wanted to, because then we could like we would be able to just do exactly what we're saying and not be one of those people who are just like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm gonna help out um, by sitting here and giving you guys tips on how to get your videos onto Machinima. Okay,
Exactly, exactly.
like, and we were talking. I think we were talking a couple minutes ago about tips and how, like the tips people give are complete garbage. No offense. Like we're not trying to hate on anyone here, but I just feel some of the tips that people give on the bigger channels, some of the tips they give are pretty ridiculous. Like the one I hear the most is be yourself. So, um, unless you have some really bad chronic disease, not being yourself is pretty difficult. Like you have more difficulty not being yourself than being yourself. So, I mean, our channel that we would create, not only would we post on our own channels, our own stuff, but that one would be more for like people sending us stuff and posting it. So if you have a good Call of Duty gameplay, let me just say this now. If you give me your PSN, I can find you. If you put it in your file share, I can most likely get it onto my computer and put a commentary over it with Adam here. Now,
Very nice, very
I
nice.
don't know if everything we would do would be in dual commentary. Like that would be neat, but it would be very difficult, seeing as we live on the opposite side of North America.
But the thing is, though, too, we can do majority of them, at least some,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And then like some of them you could do by yourself, and then some of them I could do by myself, and etc. etc. We would go with the flow, as they say.
Well, what I also think too is it just Call of Duty, or are we talking?
Mm-mm.
It varies. Like it
Mm-mm.
has a range
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you guys got mistaken, I just meant it's much easier for me to do Call of Duty because I know how to do that. Um, I'm still working on the whole Dropbox. Like I don't know how to really work Dropbox that well, so we could look at it after this game because the game does last quite long. I'm gonna notch up the speed there a bit. Whoops.
Also,
So
one thing I wanted to mention: once we get this thing on the road and we could get a name for it, I mean, what would you make the logo, or would you, you know?
well, I made my own logo and I like it, but I don't know if I could like. It took me. I swear to God, I sat down at the desk and I'm like, I need a logo, and I basically just sat there. But then I came up with this one. So I could come up with another one unless you have like a good idea for a logo. I'm down for that.
I think for right now, I mean, I would just go with whatever you make, dude. And I was saying is, are we gonna watermark the footage? You know how Machinima has their Machinima name in the bottom, like it's
Oh
barely
yeah,
visible.
yeah. We could do that. That would be cool if we put watermarks. Like we could make this a big thing, or not big, but
I think more underground, but who
yeah,
knows what would happen along the way.
because it's for the people. Because Machinima only takes high def videos and stuff,
See,
and
that's the flaw. Not to cut you off, man, but like that's what I'm saying. Like as long as you got watchable quality and I mean you got charisma, I mean what's the problem here? Or if you got potential, I mean why
Yeah,
don't you deserve to be on there? I mean,
yeah,
I
that's the
just don't
thing.
get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people these days. Well, Machinima, I understand Machinima because they get millions and millions of posts in a week, like people just submitting to them, and they can't. It's physically impossible for them to post every single video, right? So they cut it down to like a reasonable chunk, which would be high definition is one of the requirements, so that they automatically eliminate the lower definition videos, right? Like,
Hmm.
I know they're not trying to be mean to us, but it like it's for those people. I remember posting to them the first times, and I posted in only 480, and like I didn't realize that they only took 720. So I was like, they obviously dislike me, so I'm giving up. But with us, what we would do is we would just post pretty much everything that you guys sent us, as long as it was in like appropriate videos.
And if it was like at least 480, just watchable, even
Yeah,
if it was 240, but it was really good, then maybe, but I think that this is a crazy idea. Like you landed on gold mine with this idea. I mean, power to the people. That's what I think.
yeah, exactly. It would be a beautiful idea. We could we could pull this through. Excuse me, I'm just stretching.
It's Coffee Joe over here.
So many people make fun of me for that. I drink coffee. So what? Coffee.
I don't know how you drink that shit.
You don't? Well,
Nah, man.
you put a lot of milk and sugar in it, and it just tastes like candy.
Oh wow.
No, I don't actually drink my coffee with sugar, but that's really like that's just my preference. I don't like sugar in coffee. Makes it taste like poop.
Straight up.
Straight up. Well, slightly sugary poop, but other than that, it's pretty poopy. Um, but the game is wrapping up. We've got like 30 seconds. So, Adam, thanks for being on my channel, and
No problem. It's a pleasure.
hopefully we get this onto your channel, and we can make some more commentaries. Like we can start up this channel. Like after I turn this off, we're still gonna talk about it too. So.
Indeed, it's been a pleasure.